What's up, gamers? I want to talk about why PlayStation gamers love Japanese games. Because there's a lot of gamers out there that don't understand why PlayStation gamers are excited for the Japanese announcements. And a lot of these Japanese games might not make it West Side in the Wild West, you know. But that's not going to stop them from playing them. We all know that the PlayStation 4 is open region. You know what I'm saying? We can play games from anywhere around the world. They're not, locked out. And that's something that, what I'm saying, last gen that a lot of gamers expressed and wanted. But, the thing is, Japanese games kind of took a back seat towards, what I'm saying, the popular games that were, came out last year. Back in the PlayStation 1 era, when the PlayStation 1 was region locked, you had, and the only way you can really know about Japanese games if you subscribed or you bought these monthly gaming magazines. And during that era, the electronic gaming magazine was a very popular magazine for games. And in the back of that magazine, you had the import section, a list of Japanese games up and down. Saying what's hot, top 5, top 10, top RPGs, top action. All categories in the back of this magazine. If you remember, the pages were always blue, and and there was specifically PlayStation games that we couldn't buy here in the States because they weren't released here, but we can buy them from companies that imported these games and brought them over. The prices of these games were not ridiculous high because we paid the price of an import game back then now for a normal game basically. But back in the PlayStation 1 era and the PlayStation 2 era, games were cheaper. $49 was the normal price for a AAA blockbuster title. You might pay, $45 to $40. This is on PlayStation 1 for a normal regular game. And the import games were always $60 to $80, which is high. But if you wanted to play that particular game, that's the price you had to pay. Now, to play these games were the trick. Now back then you could buy a kit to mod your PlayStation or PlayStation 2. Or as far as PlayStation 1 goes, it got so simple to where all you needed was the Game Shark to hook into the back of the PlayStation 1. That space back there that everybody tried to figure out what was could hook up right there. You got the Game Shark, and with the Game Shark, if you can fool the PlayStation 1 to thinking that the lid was closed but it was actually open, the Game Shark, you put in a regular game, which I put in Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I let the PlayStation 1 read it. The Game Shark told the PlayStation 1 that it's an American game, so the disc stopped spinning long enough for me to take the disc out, put in the Japanese import, which was a Dragon Ball Z title. It was like a fighting game, and it was hot. And I'll explain that a little bit later, so if I think about it. But I would switch the game out. Then, on the screen it told me, to hit the button to start the game back up, and it would start spinning, and there you have it. I was able to play import games. The same trick was used for games that you download and burn it onto disc. When the PlayStation 2 era was around, you had to mod your PlayStation 2, or you bought these discs called Magic Disc. That's the name, the word Magic Disc. Which, same kind of trick now. You had to convince your PlayStation 2. If you, like me, I had the PlayStation 2 Slim, when it came out. I got rid of the original big PlayStation 2 because you really had to mod that to where the disc tray would open up, to slide out and everything, and that was kind of tricky to play an imported game on that. But when the PlayStation 2 Slim came out, it had the top, lid open and close, and you had to, like, trick the system to thinking it's closed when it was actually open, and you just switch out these discs, and there you had it. You can play your imported games or your burn games. Well, to explain to you why the PlayStation community love Japanese games is because, like I said earlier, in the back of these magazines you had all of these glorious, great looking games that we didn't have access to, and we always wanted to play these games. We always wanted to try them out, and once we figured out how we could, that's what we did. You know what I'm saying? The Japanese market on the PlayStation isn't as strong as it used to be in the PlayStation 2 era. When the PlayStation 3 was released, it was open region, but Japanese games kind of took a back seat to more popular games that was on the rise in the Western market, which was Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, anything of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's almost annualized every year. You know what I'm saying? Grand Theft Auto, Saints Row, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Games like that, God of War and all this. A lot of great games, you know what I'm saying? They're not knocking none of these games. There are a lot of great games that was on the rise and got very popular. But, you know what I'm saying? These games, Japanese games took a back seat to these games. And now Sony is trying to, you know what I'm saying, bring these games back to the masses. And that's the reason why PlayStation gamers love Japanese games, because of, you know what I'm saying, the PlayStation 2 era. And the PlayStation 1 era. The imports, you know what I'm saying. Just find an old electronic gaming magazine, you'll see what I'm talking about. That's all I got to say. Shout out to the council, shout out to the PlayStation Nation All-Stars, shout out to Michael, the drummer boy, shout out to LOD Labs, shout out to, you know what I'm saying, everybody that subscribe to me, everybody that, you know what I'm saying, watches these videos that I make, even though they're, you know what I'm saying, that's just my opinion. My opinion is fact. But, you know what I'm saying, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, comment about it, if you have a different opinion, comment below. Let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's all about having fun. So let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring fun back, because fun took a back burner last gen. And now it's time to bring the fun back. That's all I gotta say. I'm out. Rock out with the rest of this song. Peace.
Shouts out to the fam, Genevici, DG, Dipset West, Zombies, yeah, right, yeah, right, what it is. We got this news, but with it, it goes on and on and on.